5 workplace practices that are out of date. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Future in 5. My name is Jacob Morgan. This is where I share my thoughts, ideas, and commentary on the future of work in 5 minutes or less. I am wearing my I'm Bad shirt because I want to talk about 5 workplace practices that are completely out of date, hence they are bad. So what are these 5 workplace practices that are out of date? Number 1 is hierarchy. So strict hierarchy where communication and control and everything flows from the top down, completely dead and out of date. I've been interviewing and speaking with a lot of organizations for a new show that I'm working on, for the podcast, and research that I'm doing for articles. Every organization that I talk to always tells me that they are trying to flatten out. In other words, they're trying to get rid of this strict pyramid hierarchy mentality. I have yet to speak with an executive or manager that tells me they want more layers and more bureaucracy and more hierarchy. So that is one thing that we can definitely see within our organizations that is on its way out. It's completely dead. There is no place within organizations anymore for that command and control approach. The second thing that is out of date is working fixed hours. I think that is also completely out of date. That's another workplace practice that is starting to disappear. More and more the organizations that I work with and speak with are telling me they're implementing flexible work programs. They're allowing employees to choose the hours that they work, the locations that they work from, the technologies that they use, etc. The idea of working 9 to 5 and commuting and sitting in an office as being the only way to get work done is another workplace practice that is completely disappearing, completely on its way out from organizations. Number 3, another workplace practice that is on its way out and completely dead is looking at offices as a place of work. Now, offices were, and I've done a video on this in the past around workplace and employee experiences, and the notion that an office is simply designed as a structure, as a space for you to come and get your job done, that mentality is completely and utterly dead. The buildings that house offices now were shifting away from a mentality of just giving employees a space to get their jobs done to creating a space that creates an employee experience. I've been touring and visiting some amazing offices here in the Bay Area and in other parts of the world and the country, and I'm seeing some really cool things that organizations are starting to do. Again, this is part of a show that I'm working on, which will be out in a couple of months. But I'm seeing all sorts of really interesting and fascinating things that organizations are doing when it comes to workplace design, to employee experiences. Now, again, there are still places that employees show up to get their jobs done. They're still quote-unquote offices, but they are looked at as employee experience facilities instead of as offices, instead of as headquarters. So I think that's another mentality that we're going to see a shift away from. Organizations and offices are not a place just to work. They're a place to create experiences. So that is a big shift that we're seeing. Number 4 is executives and managers controlling information. So that used to be the typical way that work got done. The people at the very top of the organization had all the power. They controlled all of the information and they passed everything down from there, sort of a trickle-down effect to the rest of the pyramid, the rest of the employees of the company. And they told everybody what to do. They set the strategic direction and course for the company, and everybody else just followed. I think that mentality, again, is completely dead. It is being replaced by this idea of distributed and collective intelligence that is bringing employees into the conversation, listening to the voice of the employee, asking employees what they think, and bringing them into the strategic decision-making process instead of pushing everything down. So instead of pushing information down, we are giving employees more power, more autonomy, more authority, more decision-making opportunities, and bringing them up into the organization instead of pushing everything down to them. So that idea of executives and people just at the top of the organization controlling all the information is a workplace practice that is dead and dying. And the last one that I'll touch on is annual employee reviews. Those are completely on their way out within organizations. Study after study study after study consistently show that HR managers find annual employee reviews not effective, and employees don't find them effective. They actually dread their annual employee reviews. So these are being replaced by real-time check-ins, by conversations, by other types of things, instead of meeting with employees once a year and having them plead their case for why they deserve more money or why they should stay within the organization. So annual employee reviews are definitely on their way out. We've already seen a lot of organizations experiment with new models of doing things. I've written about them for the Forbes column. Adobe is a good example. LinkedIn's been doing some interesting things. Pandora's doing some interesting things. A lot of organizations out there are thinking differently about the talent management and the employee review process, instead of just doing annual employee reviews, which have been around for many, many years and have never been changed. So these are the 5 common workplace practices that are dead and on their way out of organizations. You can expect to see them disappear. I'm guessing within the next 3 to 5 years, we'll see most of that leave organizations and get replaced. There are, of course, others. I will do more videos about them in the future, but for now, I want to touch on these 5. Of course, if you want to get access to more of these videos, you can visit thefutureorganization.com. I would love it if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I do 2 of these videos every week to help you stay up to date on what's happening in the world of work. If you have a suggestion or a recommendation for me on a topic, on a question that you might have, you can email me, jacob@thefutureorganization.com. Check out the podcast series. Again, you can visit thefutureorganization.com to find those. And you can also connect with me on Twitter or ask me a question on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @JacobM. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what workplace practices do you think are on their way out. Is your organization doing something that you think is very outdated and should be eliminated, but the organization just hasn't been able to let go? They're clinging on for dear life to that outdated management practice or that outdated workplace approach or whatever it is that they're doing. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time on an episode of The Future in 5. Hey, are you interested in the future of work? If so, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get all the latest content on the future of work and stay up to date on all the latest trends and happenings. Not to mention, you will make me very, very happy. Make sure to subscribe.